Hi, welcome back to Heavy Hammer Forge. So today is going to be a different type of video. I'm not going to be forging today. Today I'm going to be reviewing a knife. And that knife is this Swiss Army knife. No, I'm kidding. That thing, it's a novelty item from Ireland. Today I'm going to be, reviewing the Z Hunter Apocalypse Survivor Medallion knife. Yeah, Z Hunter. It's one of the cheaper brands, but I'm going to be giving it a fair shot here. Never judge a book by its cover. So I will be opening this with my Frost Cutlery Black Squall, and this thing is old. I've had this since I was a little kid. I am 17 as of right now. There's some wear and tear. You can't even tell what it says right here, but right here it says Frost Cutlery. And I had to punch a rivet through it because the screw fell out and the clip fell off. But it's a nice knife. I would definitely recommend buying one of these. But today, it's all about this knife. So it's held together with some tape. That's it. 2 pieces. And a crappy plastic bag. Made in China. So maybe I should go over how much I spent for this knife first. I spent under $10 on Amazon with a gift card, so I really didn't spend that much, or at all. I didn't spend anything. So let's get this box out of here, out of the frame. Let's get this Swiss Army knife, which I actually like. It's nice, but it's a novelty item from Ireland, out of the frame. Huh. I don't know if you can see that, but the plastic bag is already tore at the top. Okay, first impressions. Apocalypse Survivor, and that's the medallion right in the center that says Apocalypse Survivor. Huh. I like black and green, especially this green. It's my favorite color. And this has a seatbelt cutter. Let's see if you can see that. Towards the center of the screen. It actually looks pretty sharp. And then there's a window breaker, but if you can see it just at the tip, it's sort of rounded. And a lanyard hole right behind it. But I'm not sure how that will fare. And this is a spring-assisted knife. Did it lock? No, it did not. There it went. It is a liner lock. Has nice scallop serrations. They feel pretty sharp. And has a little bit of a blade and a clip point towards the tip. Has that classic zombie ooze handprint right there. And a weird looking skull. Okay, is it on the other side of the knife? Now, cheap knives like this, when they have a cool design on one side, they probably don't have it on the other side. Oh, look at that. They don't. It's just a flat piece of steel with the brand and the steel. Now, let's talk about the steel. ZB 160? Yeah, 160 stainless steel, custom design, hand forged in China, made by Z Hunter. ZB 160 stainless. That sounds like Chinese crap steel. But I'm going to give it a chance. I like how the knife looks. And these are aluminum handle scales. So they're not that cheap plastic like this, the Black Squall. But this one actually has a texture to it. And this one has way more aggressive texture. And it fits nice in the hand. It locks your hand in with a swell back here and a finger choil. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Up here, and jimping on the back, jimping right here, and more towards the rear. There's a lot of jimping on this knife. This belt clip seems small, but it's actually pretty stiff. Okay. First impressions, so far so good for, I think this was like $9.50. Hang on. Just prop it up here. Yeah, it was around $9.50. Now take a look at that. Now, let's see. Okay. I have a cheap water bottle that's everywhere. Is it sharp enough to cut the little plastic tag? Very. Is it sharp and pointy enough to pierce a bottle? Wow. That's actually really good. Now, how about the bottle cap? Because that's the toughest part on the bottle. I don't have a good grip on it. This is an awkward angle for me to be filming at, so let me adjust. Cuts in somewhat easily. I say about 2 pounds of pressure to get through the cap. It cuts okay. Now, sharpness. Aha. I can use this. The paper test. Now, if you flick it out like that when you open it, it will open on its own and lock open. But this is just a progress report from my school. Okay, let's see. It did cut a little bit. Let me get it to start cutting. It cut, but it started to tear at the beginning. Now, let's stab it in, and then just tore. Stab in and then slice. It cut. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this outside and do a comparison on that and my black squall. See you guys in a second. Okay, now we're outside and we're going to do a comparison. I have both of the knives with me. The zombie hunter and the black squall, whatever. So, we're going to be doing 2 tests. Well, actually, more than 2, but some of them are going to be repetitive. Okay, so I have this piece of old fence post, like this. It's old. It's rotting, so what? First up, the black squall. A way more expensive knife than that. This one was probably $20 new at the time from when I got it. But this was years and years ago, so it's not going to be the same. It's probably cheaper now, so this one's probably the best one that's still around. Okay, so I want to see if you can whittle something that can, in a survival situation, keep the bad things in the woods away from you. So basically, I'm going to be making a sharp, pointy stick. Now this knife has been resharpened a couple of times, so it's not the same sharpness as when it was made, unfortunately. Although this is old wood, it is probably older wood. Well, didn't I just say it was old? I meant tough. It's still pretty tough. It's not rotted out like a couple of the other ones I'm going to be using. So, yes, this black squall does whittle. So, let's see if the Z Hunter can do any better at whittling. Now, come on. With this knife, I only have 1 inch or 2 of actual blade. So, it's a little restricting. It whittles. So eventually, eventually, if you take long enough to actually whittle this, you're gonna end up with a pointy stick, but it's gonna break on the first stab. You might as well use the knife that you have. So I have this piece of pecan from a pecan tree in my backyard. Let's see if that's any better. And by the way, I'm left-handed, so let's break off the bark first and give it a fair chance. Let's see the tip. Can I pry this bark off? Yep. Any damage? Nope, still pointy. Okay, let's carve. This is a little bit more rotted. Look at that. Right there. I made rolls and strips of wood. Oh, it's cutting deep. Okay. It works perfectly on pecan. Now what about the frost cutlery black squall? You know, it's honestly the same, but this one's digging in deeper since I have more blade to it. But the zombie hunter knife is actually pretty sharp. Okay, so it can whittle pecan wood. Now what about chopping random wood? This isn't pecan, it's from a bush off screen. Let's see. Put the frost cutlery over here. Can you see this? Yeah. I'm gonna be trying to chop it right here. I'm gonna go on the thinnest part first. Cleave straight through it. Now, you really don't want to be chopping with a pocket knife, but you can if you have to. Now, I'm over hitting the fence, but it chops for a pocket knife. It's good enough. Now, the black squall. Let's try it on the thin part again. See, the other one's a lot heavier, and they're not meant for chopping. So, really, don't try to chop down a tree with a pocket knife. I'm doing this for demonstration and education. And it throws the bark off. So, don't try chopping with a pocket knife, you'll end up breaking it. And since I whittled the bark off with that, let's see with this. Well, that was my fault. Yep, explodes it off. Okay, I have one more test. And this one is not chopping. It is fabric cutting. Now this is an old piece of microfiber from an old couch. Let's put it down here and try to cut a strip. I didn't even put any pressure. I mean, it didn't cut all the way through, so I could have put a little bit more and cut all the way through, but it's sharp. Now, while I have it here, let's test out the seatbelt cutter on microfiber. It would be better on a ratchet strap, so hang on just a second. I'm gonna cut the strip off and then nail it to a piece of wood so I have some actual tension in the piece. And hey, look, a rusty nail. Let's nail it through. Just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Now, as you can see down here, I have it just barely in the wood. So I'm actually going to close the knife so I don't accidentally cut my hand. And I do that a lot, but I don't bleed. I mean, that's for my dog, so if you see that, don't think I bled. On my fingertips, I cut my fingertips and I don't bleed. Okay, let's actually try the seatbelt cutter. And that came out of the wood, great. Okay. Gotta get that out of the wood. Well, the nail. Sorry. Let's see. Seatbelt cutter. Not what it's meant to do. Is it sharp enough to cut through microfiber? Probably not. Because guess what? It's not meant to do that. It's meant to cut through ratchet straps and seatbelts and more rigid things. This is going to be a long video if I can't get through this. I mean, it starts to cut, but it's floppy material, so it's not going to cut through this with the seatbelt cutter. Now, black squall versus microfiber, will it work? Well, resharpen black squall. Look at that. Clean cut. Oh wait, that was out of frame. Clean cut, but not all the way through because I didn't press down much. There. Completely off. Okay. So I'm gonna get you off my rudimentary stand, which is just a ladder. Who won out of these two? Honestly, for being right out of the box, freshly out of the box, not even used, I say the Apocalypse Survivor made by Z Hunter. Although I still do love the Black Squall because it's a part of my childhood. It's been with me forever. I still love it, but I'm gonna have to give this one to the zombie knife. Although they could have done a little bit more things with it. Now, I didn't test the serrations. I'm gonna do that on video. So I'm gonna put you guys back up, do that now. Okay. Let me grab another piece of wood. Okay. I'm gonna try to saw through it. I'm gonna take separate swipes. It is really digging in. I made it about halfway through in a couple of tries. Now line it up. It gets caught. This is more for meat. This type of serration is more for meat. But eventually, you can get through it, I guess. Wait a second. Whoa. I'm gonna try to get this right where the blade meets the serrations, right at that little bump in this ridge. It's not really that sharp. It's... Come on, focus. There we go. It's kind of flat. But what do you expect for less than $10 on a pocket knife? It is tough, I can tell you that. It's durable, it's good. I like it. Now, what I wanted to test with the belt loop is to see if I can actually get it on a belt. Now I'm just going to fold the microfiber over once to simulate a belt, I guess, a cloth belt. Now, seeing how it was so tense earlier, the clip, let's see if we can actually get it on. And yeah, it's on. It holds it pretty snug too. Okay, so the winner is the Apocalypse Survivor. Now, if you want this knife, I got it off of Amazon. It was the cheapest link I could find this for because I really didn't want to spend too much money on it, seeing as how I wanted to see if they could make it for as cheap as they could and still have a good knife. So if you want this knife, go on Amazon, type in Zombie Hunter Apocalypse Survivor Medallion Knife, and it should come up. Oh, I forgot to test one thing, the window breaker. Okay, fold the knife, Get you out of the way. Aha, perfect. Another old, dirty, rotted piece of fence. Prop it up like that. Let's adjust you. I'm gonna go like this with my thumb on the top of the blade. So, cracked it. That's mainly from the pressure, but where I hit it was right here, and it dug in because this is rotted out. Like, I can dig it out with my fingers. But, yep, window breaker. It can work. You just need to hit the glass enough times to actually do it. I don't have any glass out. Actually, I do. Give me 1 second. Okay. Do not try this at home. I mean, I am, but I'm not a good role model. So, I have this pickle jar that was full of dirt because I had plants growing in it. It won't stay. It'll stay up here. No, it won't. Aha, that can work. Move you guys up. It's on top of this 4x4. There we go. Let's actually try to get you guys locked to where you won't move. That's not gonna happen. Wow, okay. Well, actually, maybe this will work. There, does that work? Okay. Now, let's actually see if I can hit this. I hit it. You saw me. I really didn't hit it that hard. But it did take a little chip out of the glass. Now, let's try again. It didn't break, mainly because it's round. It displaces the pressure. I'm hitting it, but it just won't shatter. Okay, what about the flat side? The bottom of it, right here. Let's see, is it in frame? Yes, it is, okay. That worked. You just need a flat surface, apparently. Oh, crap. You know what I just realized? The cleanup. Yeah, I can do it. Alright, well, the winner is, well, I told you this for the third time, that knife. The cheapest one out of these two. So, yep. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. See you guys next time.